stuff.
Okay,
So
new
that was really
stream is up.
pretty. Sweet. Kick ass. Boobity bop ba-dip-ba-dip boop beep ba-dip ba-dip beep. That wasn't a song. I was just making up random noises. Oh, my back. Mm. Okay, this is the live one. Cool. Awesome. Alright, cool. Oh, someone coming to go. Wow. Maybe I should start going, huh? Okay, what were we talking about? Dilla quotes. Oh, right. Oh, talking
Faster,
about Chopper and
faster.
Hogback. So that wasn't just the fight. That was also a philosophical thing. They kind of go back and forth. Um, Chopper doesn't recognize Hogback as a doctor anymore. He says, that you're not. I thought you were trying to resurrect the dead and make them alive, but you're just turning them into monsters. They're not people. Hogback thinks that they're humans, that they come back like to serve him, because like he's like, oh, I'm a genius, I gave you life. And he also questions like why he stopped. When did he stop becoming a doctor? And Hogback was like, yeah, I used to be a genius and gave people surgery for money, and all these people came to me and wanted to get better, and eventually it's just blah blah blah, the same thing over and over and over again, and all they want me to do is to save them. Um, and he wanted to do different things, so he started trying to resurrect the dead instead. We also found out that he was in love with the
Sindri.
actual girl,
Sindri.
Maria Sindri, and he was her doctor, and she was a bright star, and he was in love with her, and she rejected her proposal or his proposal because she already had a fiance, and he learned that a few weeks later after his failed proposal, um, that she died, and due to an accident. And he was in love with her so much and so depressed that he went to Moria, and Moria promised like, oh yeah, I can resurrect dead bodies, and like that's his goal in life. He just wants to be with Sindri, doesn't matter what form it is. You're like, oh man, he's so in love with her, but then you realize like um, in that he actually doesn't care about Sindri. He not mentions demonstrates this by making the zombie Sindri lick the floor, and he's like demonstrated to Chopper like, see, they're not. See, these people are meant to serve me, and I can make them do whatever I want. And he has her lick the floor like this is a normal thing. It's like no. Chopper like try to put some sense in the Moria, and gives him like no, you're not a doctor. I don't see you as a doctor. You're not a genius. You're not anything. You're just a monster yourself. And if people can't, if the heart and the body aren't connected, then they're not human. And Hogback keeps saying, no, they are human. I brought them back. They're resurrected. And Chopper's like, no, you're not. They're just puppets. And this gets to Sindri's heart somehow, and she starts crying. And at one point, he has her. He gives her a command, but she can't move. And eventually, she's able to. But then zombie Luffy comes crashing through, and then there's like the whole building is shaking, and he gets a stone that falls on him, and he's like, Sindri, hey, get this rock off of me. And she's like, sorry, I can't move. And she like looks at Chopper for a second, and she gets that old smile that she had in the flashbacks. And then Hogback gets stepped on, presumed dead at this point. So that was like a really cool like back and forth thing of two doctors talking to each other or whatever. Um, let's see. So that was fun. So let's go over some of the lore and stuff like that. The first one I have written down was the salt balls that Brooks gave them, and they're just like little pouches with things of salt to put in the zombie's mouth, and you put that in there, and the shadows leave their body, and that's how you defeat the zombies. You get it from not waking up anymore. And we also learned that the shadow goes back to the original person immediately, which is nice, um, as evidenced with Brooke getting his shadow back. He gets her back right away, and he's super happy and stuff like that. The next one was that zombies eventually forgets the original personality they have. We talked about that a little bit. Absalom is 600 pounds because he was surgically, Dr. Hogback surgically gave him bear and gorilla muscle with elephant skin. And when Sanji was like kicking him and stuff like that, the zombies kept saying, "Oh, like, how is he able to kick him? He's 600 pounds. That would break a normal person's bones, kind of thing." And the last one was Zombie Luffy. Forgot. There was another one that's an honorable mention. It's about how Robin knows of Orz the Devil, when mentioning that was his name, and she's like, "Wait a minute, that's Orz the Devil." And I thought we were gonna get a little history lesson on who Orz the Devil was. I mean, we did get a little bit. Is that he took would take over an island, and because he was so big, he could haul it back to his homeland, and he made a kingdom that way. But we didn't. We might get some more information on him. We might not. It doesn't really matter at this point. But Robin knows who Orz is, so and she was fascinated. So that made me fascinated by it. What's the last one? I think the last thing we can go over is some of the different attacks, some of the um, cooler ones. Um, the one of the big ones was the negative hollow from Perona's ghosts. That was what that attack was called. And we had Wild Shot, Salt Star from Usopp. Um, and then we got one of Brook's attacks had to do with his backstory of when he was facing Ryuma, and Ryuma used one of his attacks. It was the three hum, what's it called? Three pace hum, notch slash. And that's Brooks' attack, and that has a meaning behind it. It has to do with a Requiem La Banderole, and I guess it was to do with like a shipping company or something like that. Hello, elusive, and
Yeah.
it was he was really upset when uh, Ryuma was kept using that word. He's like, so you don't understand what that means. That means a lot to me. You shouldn't be using that. And Ryuma was like, oh, stop me, but he couldn't. But Shisui. Then we got oh, we also got the Robbie Cho suplex. So it was a combination of Robin and Chopper doing a suplex on Hogback and destroy him. So that was fun. Okay, I think That's it. Yeah, I think that's it for this one. It does end on a cool note. There is a lot of scenes where zombie Luffy is running around, and there's more scenes where Luffy is literally chasing Moria, and he's trying to catch up to with them. And there's a point where zombie Luffy is checking for the woman's straw hat under his rock, and he throws this rock, and it lands in front of Luffy, and he loses Moria, but then we get every all the Straw Hats versus Zombie Luffy, and that's where the last episode ends at 366. So we will see the conclusion and talk about it by next week.
We will do the do it again next Wednesday, New Year's Day night, probably about same time. I think I work until 10. I think 10 or 11. I
Very
should
good.
be a lot. I shouldn't be so tired. Hopefully.
Hopefully. All right.
One
So
second.
now I don't know if you're gonna end it or we
Yeah.
continue this one.
I'm gonna end the recording. I just wanted to type one thing up while it's still in my mind. Cause,
Okay.
Cause I'm looking up news for our podcast tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
As I usually do on Wednesdays.
Oh, and Mike, the Saints screwed me over.
That sucks.
I
I didn't even
didn't.
score any points.
I didn't even know you were in here, Mike.
Oh, I've been in here for a while.
Well, when I have LBS going, I don't get the notifications of people coming in. Okay.
Cool. Well, hello. Welcome to the Derp Derp channel. I'm Skeener. We got Derp Derp here and Mr. Elusive himself. And we are here to talk about Squid Game Season 1, getting ready for Season 2 Squid Games.
Yeah.
That releases tomorrow
Um,
or
this
today.
is going to be a quick, brief video on what questions like a lot of people have, and just get you ready. I just finished watching the Season 1 second time through a couple hours ago. So let's get into it. So this is going to be more about the whereabouts of the people who are still alive. And so we got Siang Gi-hoon, which is 456, um, Oh Il Nam 001, um, and then we got the detective, uh, Huang Jun-ho, and the front man, Huan In-ho, or Huang In-ho. And so those four people are the mysterious people. Oh, I forgot about the guy who I forget. I didn't write down his name, but the guy at the very begin or at the very end who was doing a testing people, doing the slap game kind of thing.
Yeah,
He didn't have a name.
the guy that's also played by the main actor from Train to Busan.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So I do have some questions. So the first one is why does 456 turn around at the end? Why does he do this? Right before this happened, he called the game place. He got another card. He called this place, and they said, "You better get on that plane." And they made him turn around and be like, no, I'm gonna play this game. I ain't a horse anymore. I'm a person. Like you guys pissed me off." Um, so he turns around at the very end. It's like, but how did we get to this point? We get to see him go through the entire games. I thought the best person was 101 or Jiaksu, the super meat headed guy. He was pretty great. And then we got Sangwoo, the 218, his childhood friend. Um, he kind of gave up. He committed suicide because he was just like, no, someone has to leave with money thing. But those people died, and it kind of shaped Gi Hun into what he is today. However, like after the game ended, about a year and a half goes by, and he gets a random card from a lady who's selling flowers, and he sees that Ilnam, or player one, is still alive, and he's kind of on a deathbed, and he gets to play one more game. He gets a little explanation of about what, like why, he's asking. Gihon is asking, "Hey, why did you do this? Why are you behind all this? Like, why are you doing this?" And he kind of explains, like, he's like, first of all, he says, "Hey, let's play a game. There's this drunk guy on the outside, and if he doesn't get any help soon, he's probably gonna die tonight." Um, and he explains that Ilnam explains that if you're extremely poor, life sucks. If you're extremely rich, life sucks. So, in order for him to have, for his life to have meaning, he and his other super rich friends came up with an idea of these games, and it was a way to have fun, put meaning into their lives again. You know, after hearing this, Gihon is all pissed off, and he's like, "What the hell? What you do this? You do this for fun? You're insane. You're a horrible person." He's like, "Yeah, I mean, because we learned that he's a like a he gave out money himself. He was a not a loan shark, but like give out loans basically." And um, it's like, why do you need to feel alive again? He explained that like food doesn't taste the same if you have so much money, like there's no meaning in life anymore because just have everything. Everything is just there for you. Um, and my question is player one still alive?
I honestly think he is, or to some extent.
I think he is too, because yes, his the beeper went to nothing. He flatlined, but did he actually flatline? Maybe it was meant to quote go on a flatline uh, when it hit midnight, no matter what kind of thing, because that's kind of really convenient that as soon as it hits midnight, as soon as it starts dinging, it flatlines. Um, did the police do what? What did the police do with because we saw that his info, the stuff on his phone that he got the all the pictures of all the different games, and he got different videos, and even the guy confessed, that super rich guy confessing with a gun to his face. Um, that was sent to the police. So how much does the police know, and what happened with that? We don't know. Um, hopefully that is explained. I hope so. Um,
Uh, there will also be. They've already said there will be a season 3, a third and final season.
oh, a third and final season.
Yeah,
Well, we've been waiting this long. We should have season 3 right now.
I think they
Actually, it should be
said
season 4.
season 3 should be either by the end of 2025 or beginning of 2026.
Oh, really?
I believe. Let me try to look it up.
All right, cool. Well, that's fun. All right. The next question
2025.
is
So yeah, probably end of 2025.
so. Sweet. The next question is, why is Inho, the front man, still working for the games? Like, is he forced to be there? Um, or does he like want to be there? And he shot his brother. Like, how does he feel? Like, how will this affect him going forward, knowing that he shot his own brother? Like, bruh, like his brother's looking for him. Come on, do something. Another question: how do they determine the players from the workers? And Derder was telling me this the other day. He had his theory. So go ahead and say your theory.
That when they are first getting enlisted into the program or the games, they aren't necessarily. They get to choose what color for the slap game that they play.
I think it's
So
called Doc G.
so the theory is that if you choose the green one, which Gi-hun did, you become a player. But if you choose the red one, you get offered a job as one of the henchmen.
It's crazy. That is a great theory. I know you saw that online, but
And it makes a lot of sense because you're shown
yeah,
that he is given a choice of what color. He isn't told what color to choose.
yeah, that's true.
Because
Um,
they're kind of. I don't think that. I doubt every single henchman is like a previous winner. So they had to get henchmen somehow.
yeah, especially people who are just doing like the manual labor and like cooking and moving the bodies and stuff.
Because there's probably a couple hundred of them.
Yeah, and even all the like manager, the square people. There's a lot of them on the cameras themselves. So, um, next question. Almost, I got two more questions. How did player 456 survive without using his winnings? Like, how did he avoid those loan sharks? Because remember, right before he entered the games, he sold his organs. Basically, he sold his body rights. Did he just was he just avoiding them this whole time, or was he just maybe his look changed so much he stopped shaving and his
Change
hair
his
grew a
hair
lot?
color.
Maybe he no, because he got that his hair changed color right before right after he saw um Ilnam, the player one,
Yep.
and he was gonna go he and that was like right after he or yeah, he got that after he saw the old man, and then before he went to find uh, Sabyuk's brother, the player 67's brother, the girl from North Korea. Um, he adopted him, I guess, or just took him,
Didn't he
saying
give
like,
him
"Oh,
to Saint Wu's mom or something like that? Or tell her to take care of him?
yeah, yeah," and he left a note with a bunch of cash in it, or no, briefcase with a bunch of cash in it, and it said, "This is the money I owe Sang Woo," which is all the prize money, pretty much, or at least a lot of it. I don't know how exact. I don't know how you fit, 40, 46 billion or 45.6 billion won into one briefcase. But I guess that's how you would do it. But then he's about to visit America and see his daughter, and he sees that guy playing that same game, and he steals the card from him. He's like, "No, you will not go to that place." He looked like with the intent to like, "I'm gonna like beat you up or harm you." I don't know. I don't know if he could kill him because the other guy's pretty. He's not a fighter himself. He's a survivor, not a fighter. And yeah, it was pretty crazy how he was surviving and stuff like that. Anyways, last question I have, I suppose. Yeah, last question. How long have the games been going on?
Forever.
We saw that it was going back at least into the 90s, in the mid 90s. So we don't know if that was the beginning or if there was still more. But he did say like he and his buddies started this probably years ago, and however I don't know, is the old man like 80, I guess. Let's say he's been doing it for 50 years, and he just got rich, really rich when he was in his 30s, something like that. Maybe 40, 50 years. They've been playing this game. Um, and also follow-up questions. Um, are the games played all over the world, or is it just in Korea? Because we did have some Americans in there.
At least the theory that it isn't fully confirmed that like all the at least I assume all the like major countries do it. That's
Well,
my
most
assumption at least.
people, but they just can't all show up at the same time. But it seems like it's a if like this is what gives their lives meaning. It also can be logical that they all are there um, because it's like basically like the Super Bowl for them. So they should all be there, or maybe some just were too busy, couldn't show up, because they weren't there live for the other games. They were just there for the last two games. So and they could have been there for the other games too, because I assume that they played on like similar areas and stuff.
I'm,
So I don't know.
I'm kind of assuming that season two will probably be Gihoon taking down this part of it, and then realizing that it's like a worldwide thing. Season three will be him trying to kind of get to like the head of the whole thing and trying to take down the whole corporation that's behind it, or the whole like game or cult or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah, the rich people cult. or death cult, I guess.
So I assume season 2 will be him taking down this small portion of it and then realizing it's just a giant group of people. Season 3 will be him trying to take out everybody a part of it, not just one specific group.
Yeah, it could be. We won't know until they come out with it. But I'm just the most curious I am is the detective. Like, what happened with the detective? I want to know. I want to see his story. So,
Which we assume he's alive because we never saw a body. Just
yeah,
see him fall off the cliff, no body.
exactly.
Exactly how it was demonstrated with Ilnam. We just heard a gunshot, we never saw a body, and he was still alive.
Yeah. This time we did see him die, but we don't know if he actually died or not.
It just seemed too coincidental that he flatlined right at midnight.
Yep. I think what happened is that he was injected with the drug or whatever that just makes you
Stops your
it
heart.
lowers your heart rate.
Or
Yeah. To like 3 beats a minute or something like that. So it makes it look like you're dead, but you're actually not. So, um, yeah. But
what do you think,
guys, any other
Elusive?
questions?
I think that he was drugged, to be honest.
Yeah, because you did see him slow down a little bit. He's just like, yeah, and I'm so glad you made it. You have so many questions, and then just like boom, he had to have been drugged.
Uh,
Yeah, I think so too.
But well, that's it for this video. Unless you guys have any other questions or anything.
No, not right now.
All right, cool. We'll end it off with go watch Squid Game season 2,
and we
and
we'll do it differently. We'll just do a whole season review after we all finish it. We won't do episode by episode
yes,
since it's all released at once.
yep. It might take us
A
a
week,
while because we're also doing
Couple
this as
days.
well. So,
because we all
what did
watch
you
at
say?
different paces.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get done when we get done.
We promise you the content is coming.
The what?
It might be 5 months. It might be 5 days. We don't know
Might be 5 years.
exactly.
Hope not.
5 decades.
Yeah, exactly.
That's even longer than the last number.
Hey, we just want to take our time with this. It may take us 5 decades, right?
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, I know we've already done with this, but elusive. I did lose my championship game that I was in. Yeah,
Join us Saturday for our review of Crazy House. And that's the and our podcast tomorrow night.
yep. We will talk about more fantasy stuff, fantasy or
How
sports
did
related
you lose
stuff.
your game? Did you